What's good, fam? Welcome to Relationship Realities, where we are going to dig deep, we're going to laugh hard, and we are going to get real about what it takes to build strong, healthy relationships. And of course, I cannot forget my lovely co host. Is it cool to call you lovely because you a dude? What's that?
Look, we're gonna roll
My
with it.
fly
I'm good in
co-host.
my own skin, so you can, as
Hey,
long as you don't say like precious or uh what's another word? It's a little too sus. Yeah, precious or you know,
Jammer, welcome.
yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
again for joining me today. How you been?
I've
How was
been
your
good.
break?
Man, my break was great. Actually, I'm technically still on break because I didn't work this week, so didn't work last week either. Like, don't tell nobody. If my job is nah, but I mean, I'm good. My break was good. Got to see some fam back at the
Good.
crib. Got to see my parents. Check on them old folks. They doing good. They still off the chain. Still trying to do too much in their 70s. Trying to do too much still. I'm like, y'all need to sit down. They can't sit down for 5 minutes. Always
No,
trying to do
not
something.
at all. Not at all. Well, fam, get y'all drinks, get y'all snacks. We
Hmm.
got multiple topics to begin the year off. Happy New Year if y'all didn't catch me last week. Again, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, when you need to catch us.
Hmm.
So, to start the topic off, this video I saw on one of Anton Daniels' shows, mini shows. Shout out to Anton Daniels. That
Hmm.
man is a beast. He is getting it. And
Absolutely.
love to see him setting an example for us all. But
Hmm.
he introduced this topic. I thought it was a great topic. And the question is, having children essential to living a fulfilled life?
Hmm.
So here's one of the creators, and this TikTok kind of went viral, um, where a young lady talks about whether or not having children is worth it. So let's see what she's got to say.
Lady that came on the internet and asked all the moms if children are worth it. I'm going to give you a short and quick answer. The answer is no, they aren't. Now, before you mom crusaders come up in here trying to come up for me, please understand that I am not Beyonce and I do like to cuss. But also, let me explain. Okay, the thing about it is, children will be the greatest love you've ever known, experienced. Oh my gosh, it's like nothing you can even explain, right? But with every high, there is an opposite and equal challenge to go with it. And if you want to have kids and make them worth it, you need three things, okay?
So, first question:
Hmm.
is it worth having children? Do you believe having children is essential to living a fulfilled life?
That's a loaded question. Yeah, it's a great question though. First, I'm gonna answer it from my perspective, right,
Mhm.
of how I personally feel. Yes, I believe that having children is life fulfilling because you're leaving a legacy. I mean, I feel like as
Mm,
in our culture, it's very important that we breed folks who can continue to keep our culture and our families moving. I'm saying this because my last name is Campbell. My son is the last Campbell. So if he doesn't have any children, that name is done,
mm,
on my side, because my dad and my uncle were the only two male Campbells outside of my grandfather. Now, my uncle, he do got some kids are running around. They last name probably it, but I can't claim them because I ain't never met them before. You know what I'm saying? So, but think it's important from a legacy perspective just to keep a name going, man. Like my last name to me is everything.
Mm,
So, seeing how hard my pops worked, seeing how hard my grandfather worked, like I wanted to keep that going and build on that. I mean, because my grandfather had credibility in his community. Like people knew who John Campbell was. Like I want to continue that. And I
mm, mm,
if I don't continue that, I'm letting him down. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure he felt the same way from his grandfather or great grandfather, however that worked out. Like it is meaningful. Now I would say the opposite side of that is it depends on the individual. And it truly depends on what your life goals are. Like if you don't give a damn about building a community, if you don't care about like etching your mark and your
mm,
family's
mm.
namesake, then obviously it's not gonna be for you because it is work. You gotta put in the effort. Uh, the time continues like, I just say society continues to evolve. So, you have to be able to match what society is doing in order to raise children nowadays. I know we haven't gone that far yet, but my perspective is, personally, yes, it is life fulfilling. I feel like it's a necessity. Just for I'll say for black folks, it's a necessity, man. We need to have children. We need to be able to, because we continue to fail in things that we should be successful in. And part of that is because we don't have good parenting. So, you know what I'm saying? So if we can actually raise good parents, we can build better communities. Not That's
Mm.
why I think it's important.
Shout out to Free. He's uh, watching us on Facebook. Um,
Salute
shout
to
out to
free.
everybody on
Absolutely.
Facebook, YouTube. We on Twitter. Come on, join the conversation. Let me know where you are watching from tonight. I know a lot of y'all are in some snow and ice at home in the
Oh,
comfort of your
man.
home. Shoot me in a snowflake emoji. And also, our prayers are definitely going out to
Oh,
those in LA. Our family has
so
a couple of people out that way
mhm,
who we have to keep checking on them, and
same.
prayerfully they will not be affected. And man, it's devastation.
It's a bad situation.
So, Jammer, it sounds like you are more. I don't know. Is having children more about a legacy or a personal fulfillment?
I know it sounded selfish the way I said it, right? Like I wouldn't say that like off the dribble because I have friends who do not care to have children at all. That's why I started it out by saying, for me,
Mm,
it is. For me, it's essential because number one, I do want my last name to continue. But
right.
number two, I do want to put people on this world who can continue to uplift
Hmm.
our community. Because I feel like again, the struggle right now is we don't have people who understand even how to be parents. We don't have people who understand how to fit in society. Like, let's just go there. So I feel like if we do a good job of actually raising children, it's almost like I feel like we need a do over. If that makes sense,
Not
we
the
need to
do
do it.
over.
We need to remake, what we're doing.
Right.
We tried it with the gumbo with the seasonings, and the seasonings just didn't come out right. We got a lot of broken situations, and we need to correct that. So when I say do over, I'm not saying erase. I'm just
Yeah,
saying do over
yeah,
as far as like a mindset do over.
yeah.
But
I mean,
again,
the
depends on the
good
individual.
word says we need to be fruitful and multiply.
Mm, mm. Indians be doing it. They will.
Iceberg Slim said, "I agree with Jay Camp." He was like, "It's dirt in the greens."
It's dirt in the greens. Like in my community where I live at here in Florida, it's very, very extremely diverse. But I be seeing how successful some of these other ethnicities and cultures be
Mm,
because they put such a premium in family. They put such a premium in education. They put a
mm,
premium in just handing their offspring the tools to survive. Like I, that's why like I salute like Indians. Like every Indian in my community is uber successful, and they do everything together. We
Yeah.
don't do that. I'm jealous, to be honest. So when I say like a do over or a makeover, we need to have more of that because we did have more of that when we owned our own businesses back in the 60s.
Mhm.
Before we was hoodwinked, we had to sell our property. We were selling our land. My family had like 30 acres of land, farmland. Sold it. Sold it. Got hoodwinked. Like
Yeah.
those are the type of decisions that we make that do break up our families. And you can actually get those jewels back by building better family structures. And you can do that by having offspring. You can't build a better family structure if you don't have no offspring. You can't.
Free said it's got to be personal because the only one that can carry the legacy is the male. What if you have no male child?
That's 100% free, but you can always teach that young lady though how to be a wife. Because we see you want to call it the modern, the modern female. We see how they doing. I
We
listen.
trying to help them out. We working on them
We
free.
we can work. We can work in parallel. Free. I get what you're saying from a legacy perspective. Yes, you got to have that male, but we can still help out the world by eliminating some of the foolishness that's going on with the modern society. That's basically kind of like my point with that.
Iceberg said, salute to free. And he says, the music in black churches are where we need to start rebuilding.
Man, preaching.
Facts.
Iceberg is preaching.
Uh, so, what is what influenced you to have children? You and your wife to decide that
Mhm.
y'all want to have some children.
I mean, we both just big on family. You know, I mean, we both big on family. Um, we come from large families,
Mm.
so and we always wanted to build um that foundation to where we wanted to put our son in a situation where he can go out here and be president if he wanted to. He can do it. Like I want to be able to give him the tools, and I feel like
Right.
um my purpose is to be able to, what I'm saying, make again. I want him to be far superior than what I ever would have been mentally,
Right.
and so, and I feel like we do a lot of complaining
Mm.
today, and we talk about other people's kids and what other people aren't doing right, but then we don't want to take the time out. If you're not going to help to coach and educate, then I feel like you should
Facts.
you need to plant your own seeds and
Yeah.
let them do work.
So for those in our audience, Jammer and I have children. And for those who don't have
This is just
children,
my opinion too. I'm not saying you
let
have
us
to think
know
like me.
in the comments section what influenced you not to have children. Because believe me, these children are expensive.
Hmm.
I'm sure there's there's many reasons not to have children, but
It's a bunch of
very
reasons not to
similar
have
to you. It to me, it's about building a legacy. The Bible tells me to be fruitful, multiply, uh,
them.
and hopefully be able to contribute to the community and to build this kingdom, a God-like kingdom, of
God like
course.
kingdom. God like kingdom.
So what and we're gonna go on to the next topic, but before we do, what advice would you give to a couple that is contemplating, whether or not they should have children?
It definitely has to be a situation where they both want to have it. It can't be one person wants to do one thing, the other person's going this way. You can't be like that. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? You have to be like this. If you're going to make that move, because like you said, children are precious, but you'll be doing your child a disservice if one side don't really want to have, because you're not going to be all in, you know. And like Shorty said, yes, it's a different type of love that you're going to have for any other human being. Like a love for a child is, you can't put a qualification on that love. Like it's different. Like when you have children, that love is different. But you might have an element of that, but you're not going to do all you can to make sure that child is put in the best position to be successful, in my opinion. Outside, it's different. Like I'll say like Donald Trump, for example. I'm not saying that he don't love his kids, but there's elements there where I'm like, bruh, like I know that kid was just one that was a mistake kid. I can tell by the way you treat them. You know what I'm saying? Like a check ain't love. Love is when you doing the little things. Like I'm not saying taking little Johnny outside to throw a, you know what I'm saying, throw the baseball around. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about like actually like teaching, like real talk. Like
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why I homeschool, because I feel like that's my
Mhm.
mission. Like you not gonna get what you really need from school. Sending you to school for me, that's like George Bush when he got the honorary degree. I feel like I'm not really giving you what you really need. You're not going to learn anything unless it's coming. Because I
Not
need to
the
be able to
honorary.
teach you. Like I'll use iceberg for example. Like I got to be able to slide you them red pill joints. You know what I'm saying? So you can see. I got to unplug you from the matrix a little bit, so you can really see what everything is talking about, so you don't get hoodwinked out here
I mean, Iceberg said black people mainly focus on the fast
on the
bag
fast
and
bag. It's
not
like fast food.
biblical principles.
We focus on the dollar menu. We focus we are the perfect example of microwave society. We want instant gratification. We want that McDouble because it's quick. We want the quick meal. We don't want to just take the time out to learn how to cook. Like that type of stuff is what we should be teaching. That's what we should be. Those are the jewels we need to be dropping.
Yeah, and I will always, always, always say if you are in a two-parent household, I would never, ever recommend a woman have a child by herself.
Mm,
Ever.
that's a tough
Um,
situation.
and it's a lot of complex issues to discuss. But
Hmm.
yeah, it has its good, just like marriage. It has its good things and it has bad things. Free said my daughter just started homeschool and it seems to be great. Nice. Iceberg Slim said J Camp is right. The Indians focusing on family first, then the long-term bag at the same time.
The long term bag comes, and you can just see how successful they are because they're all on the string. They're all on one chord. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You don't see them like veer off. Like it's a mindset, man. You got to be well grounded. You got to be disciplined. That's what we don't have like family discipline
Yeah.
because you know you got like the matriarch sometimes who will let the bad kid continue, like enable them. Oh, he's just sick, or she's just hurt
Yeah.
on that narcotic. You know what I'm saying? You on you on that boy. Like that's not a sickness. That's a choice. Like we need to get them real help. Just saying, oh well, don't y'all get on them. It's a sickness. Like that's where like we felt that's where the man has to come and say, no, ain't no sickness. Like we about to
Mhm.
crack some heads up in here. I got the cure for him. He may not
Yeah.
like it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That's where we can come together and do a better job than and be more disciplined, you know,
Yeah.
and to stop enabling foolishness because we feel like we don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. Like that's whack. We got to get out of
We're emotional creatures. So,
that.
right. Yeah. Rightfully